The world stood still as Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, a humble and soft-spoken man from the Philippines, knelt before the altar of St. Peter's Basilica. And when he rose again, he was no longer just a cardinal. He had become Pope Louis XIV, the first Asian pope in the 2,000-year history of the Catholic Church. In that moment, history was rewritten. Billions watched in silence, hearts pounding, as a new era began. But what many didn't know was this. Deep in the archives of the Vatican, hidden behind layers of secrecy and forgotten by time, lay a fragile manuscript, ancient, mysterious, and prophetic. It told of a time when the Church would face its darkest hour, and from the east a shepherd would rise, a man of humility, faith, and love, a man who would unite the Church, a man who would lead the world into peace. Was Cardinal Tagle that man? Suddenly, this forgotten manuscript was no longer just a legend. It had become the center of a global storm of belief, wonder, and speculation. Tagle's rise was no accident. Born in Manila in 1957, he was shaped by the faith of his parents and the resilience of his people. From a young age, he understood what it meant to struggle, to believe, and to serve. His heart beat with compassion. His words carried wisdom, far beyond his years. His actions, always grounded in love, spoke louder than any sermon. He studied theology in America, earning his doctorate, but never lost touch with the people back home. Whether in academic halls or the crowded slums of Manila, he was the same, present, listening, and deeply caring. He became known not only for his brilliance, but for his warmth. He didn't preach from a pedestal. He walked with the poor, comforted the grieving, and lifted the forgotten. As Archbishop of Manila, he faced a city wounded by poverty, inequality, and violence. But he did not turn away. He turned toward it with sleeves rolled up and heart wide open. People saw in him something rare, something real. His compassion caught the attention of Pope Francis himself. When Tagle was appointed as the prefect of the dicastery for evangelization, many sensed it. He wasn't just a church leader, he was the future. And now, as Pope Louis I, he stands at the threshold of something greater, maybe even divine destiny. Whispers from the past are now being spoken aloud. The prophecy, long dismissed as a myth, talked about a man from the land of the rising sun. A shepherd, humble and wise, who would bring healing to a divided world. A leader not born from power but from purpose. And for many, that perfectly describes Tagle. The Vatican buzzes with speculation. Can he fulfill this ancient prophecy? Will he guide the Church through its greatest challenges? Already his first words as Pope have moved millions. He has spoken of hope, unity, understanding, and of faith that embraces, not excludes. And while the Vatican is watching, so is the world. The Philippines, his beloved homeland, has erupted in joy. Church bells rang across Manila. Fireworks lit the night sky. Children danced in the streets. People cried tears of joy. For Filipinos, this was more than just a religious event. It was a moment of national pride, a validation of centuries of unwavering faith. For so long, they were seen as the Church's far-flung faithful. Now one of their own wears the ring of the fisherman. But it didn't stop there. From India to Vietnam, from South Korea to Indonesia, Asian Catholics celebrated like never before. The rise of Pope Louis XIII was not just a Filipino triumph, it was an Asian awakening. It was proof that the global Church is truly universal. And still, questions linger. In a world torn by war, greed, and disillusionment, can one man make a difference? Pope Louis XIII believes he can, but not alone. He has already begun calling on Catholics everywhere to renew their mission, to serve the poor, to fight injustice, to care for the earth. He has pledged to bring the Church closer to the people and the people closer to each other. He's also promised to open more doors, to refugees, to interfaith dialogue, to those who feel excluded or left behind by traditional church systems. In him, many see the embodiment of what Pope Francis hoped for, a church that is not afraid to change, to listen and to love without conditions. Even the tech world had something to say. In the days before the papal conclave, artificial intelligence had predicted that Cardinal Pietro Parolin would be chosen. The data said he had the experience, the age, the connections. But the Holy Spirit chose otherwise, and in that people found comfort, because it reminded them no machine can predict divine will. Now as Pope Louis XI begins his journey, his path is both blessed and burdened. Billions look to him, not just for answers, but for courage, for light, and for love. And the manuscript. Its prophecy continues to stir hearts. Some say more pages remain unread. Some believe there's more to come, more signs, more trials, more miracles. One thing is clear, the story is only beginning. The shepherd from the east has risen. His name is Pope Louis I, and whether by prophecy, providence, or pure faith, the world is watching.